YouTube. Welcome back to the channel, Truckers and Trucker Gals Worldwide. Yes, it is the often imitated, never duplicated, the one and only Enrique Prince, also known as Prince the Trucker. You do understand that though, right? Back again with another real conversation for you guys to engage with here on the channel. First and foremost, if you guys are returning, do me a solid, pause the video, smack that thumbs up for your boy. That like button definitely helps with getting the information out there. If you are new to the channel, shout out to all the brand new subscribers here. We are growing slowly but surely, and that's all I can ever ask for. As long as we're growing, I have no complaints. I know the information is being retained and used by folks all over the globe, so I'm appreciative of that. And if you would like to support the growth of the channel, please drop a comment, question, share your experience, and most importantly, hit that subscribe button. We're definitely trying to reach 3K. You feel me? With that being stated, YouTube, per usual, we are going to get into the steak and potatoes of this royal conversation that I feel like is very important, which is your growth is going to make people feel uncomfortable. You dig what I'm saying? Sit back, relax, let's talk about it, express our thoughts, and really dive deep into why you have to grow by any means necessary. Let's get it. All right, YouTube, Prince the Trucker reporting live from the cab of the rig. You dig? Today is Sunday, June 1st, 2025. It is approximately 5:55 p.m. here in Calexico, California. I am literally a hop, skip, and step away from the border of Mexico. If you're on the California side of things, then obviously you are in Calexico. If you cross over into the border of Mexico, then you will be in Mexicali. If you know, you know. You understand? But my load isn't due until June 3rd at 8 a.m. So I actually had a few days to get here, but I booked it, set myself up so that I can have some time for myself to go out and have a nice meal, get my laundry done, and really set myself up for going home. Just to update you all, I have been on the road since March 11th, 2025, and by June 11th, it'll be 3 months. I'm going home probably by the end of the first week of June, so I won't quite hit that 3-month mark, but close enough. You dig what I'm saying? Close enough. And it's been a good run, but it's time for me to hop off the truck and really have some Prince time. You understand? Definitely looking forward to the rest and relaxation. But as always, Prince the Trucker is here to be a motivation and inspiration for the situation on those upcoming in the trucking industry and or individuals, old or young, that are thinking about taking this leap and changing their life for the better in this trucking environment. One thing I can say is that in this particular season of my life, I have had a lot of time to think for myself and prioritize what's important to me. And that is the reason for me making this video, because there's so much information on YouTube as far as the glitz and glamour of trucking and what it may look like if you decide to do it. But as I stated in my last video, I really want to dive into the minds of the individual sitting in the seat and spark the encouragement on certain situations and topics that it's going to take for you to survive out here, because I don't feel like that's talked about enough. A lot of the information in my videos that I might speak about might recycle. You know, it's a broad band of generality when it comes to the topics that you'll face. But each video that I put out, I want to focus on a specific point. So What I mean by that is you might hear this in this video, you might hear that in that video. It all comes full circle. But I want to highlight certain things in each video for you to really consider. Because we don't really break down the mind of the sacrifices that truck drivers make to be able to live the lifestyle that they want to live. Alright, so the topic I want to highlight in today's video is how your decision to be a trucker and the growth process that comes with that is definitely going to make the people around you uncomfortable. I promise you that. It is going to make people uncomfortable. Now you might be saying, Prince the Trucker, why is this? Don't worry, we're finna get into it. Now, one of the things that we need to talk about when it comes to being a professional driver, an over-the-road driver, a trucker in general, is the importance of having a clear mind while you're on the road, okay? And this is the first mustard seed on why your growth is going to affect the people around you, because in order to do this job in the first place, whether you want to or not, you are going to start to develop a clear mind. You're going to be able to block out a lot of the noise that normally when you sit down and you're surrounded by people, you would be motivated by or influenced by. 10 to 11 hours, maybe even to 14 hours of your day is going to be dedicated to you handling your responsibilities as a professional driver or a trucker. So just by that principle alone, you are going to start developing a clear mind within self. You have a lot of time to think for yourself. So that is very important to understand. So the next step in that, YouTube, is once you start having a clear mind and being able to think for yourself, one thing I've noticed is your success, quote unquote, right? Because success is different for everyone. But you being able to grow from where you were to where you are now, your success is going to start becoming a mirror to the pain and accountability of others. That's why your growth is going to be uncomfortable for most people. Because once you develop the clear mind and then you start to reflect on the pain of not having and the accountability that you had to take just to put yourself back into a position of prominence, oh my goodness. You're going to start seeing the emotions fly from left and right, whether it's from family, potential relationships, people you would call friends, maybe even the current job that you're at now. Once they catch wind that, hey, I'm in this situation and I'm changing for the better now, their antennas are going to go up like, wait a minute, this person is actually breaking outside of the matrix that we've created for them. That dependency, that vulnerability. If you're a trucker, you know what comes with it. You know exactly what comes with it. And if you don't know, that's what Prince the Trucker is here to share with you. Trucking, as I've always said, and as you'll hear from many other people, can change your life. But you have to have the clear mind. You have to have the discipline. You have to have the skill set to be able to actually perform what is required. And that, I'm telling you, alone, just to do the job, the skill set that's required, the sacrifices, the frame of mind, is going to make people very uncomfortable, whether they want to admit it or not. Now, we live in the year 2025, YouTube. There's a lot of pressure on providing the quality of life, not only for ourselves, but for the people that we care about the most. And what I want to say in regards to that is, if you have love for a particular person, a particular set of people, you have to understand that love without boundaries becomes sacrifice. Let me run that by you again. Love without boundaries becomes sacrifice. Think about your parents back in the day when they were raising you. They loved you, but there was boundaries to their love. When you went to the store, you started touching stuff that you couldn't pay for. What happened? You got that ass spanked, right? It's like, yeah, I love you, but there's boundaries to this love. Because once you break that love that I have for you without the boundary, now I got to sacrifice the way that I think and the way that I do things. So let's take it a step further. What is sacrifice without recognition? It's slavery at the end of the day. If you love without boundary, you're prone to be taken advantage of. But once you love and you set boundaries because you've went through the process of growth, then you cannot become a slave to other people's ideologies without the recognition of the change that you had to go through to have the mindset that you have. It's crazy. It's deep, right? So, I want to bring it back, and I want to tap back into the topic of this video. If you haven't seen by now, that is why your growth is going to make the people around you uncomfortable. Let's go to the next level. If you are doing all the things that you need to do to improve your quality of life, make the sacrifices, go through the pain and accountability, and you're seeing the result of that, one thing that trips me out is when you get around so-called friends or acquaintances or family or potential relationships. Why do most people focus on things that don't matter to their growth, right? Have you ever talked to people who I consider are downers? Every time you're positive in a situation, because we all go through things, right? This is not me taking an opportunity to belittle people or anyone, because nothing is perfect. But at the end of the day, when you're going through the process of finding yourself and all the things that we're talking about, have you ever noticed that when you try to inspire and motivate others, some people are just in that place within their life where it ends in I can't. Does that make any sense? It's really frustrating when you, again, go through the process of finding out who you are and what you want to do, what sacrifices you're making, and you're surrounded by people who make excuses rather than solutions. They would rather talk about how you're too much or how you think you're above everything else instead of recognizing the process that it took for you to maturate, to mature into something that is going to be able to stand the test of time, right? Most people don't want to put in the work that is required to change the situation. They would rather conform to a group, a circle of individuals that can tell them what makes them feel good opposed to what makes them uncomfortable. The very thing that challenges the way they think in order to make change. Let me tell you something. Even a dollar makes change. You understand? When you go somewhere and you got $100 bill and it's only $10, what do? You hand them that $100 bill and guess what they say? Let me get you your change. And you counting every dollar and every cent, right? Exactly. Even a dollar has to make change. That's the point. What's so hard to understand about that? If time is valuable, why do we waste it on things and people that aren't interested in building the foundation of our future? This is, again, YouTube, Truckers and Trucker Gals Worldwide, why I say that your growth is going to make people feel very uncomfortable. Because it doesn't matter who they are. Again, it could be your girl, it could be your mom, it could be your dad, it could be your brother, it could be your sister, it could be your uncle, it could be your job. It's just life. That's life. Once you start putting in the work to change the way that you think, people start becoming uncomfortable with the version that you've become. Because now they know that you're a threat. Not in a negative way, but in a threat to the truth, in a threat to the accountability. See, when you're on the same level as people, it's convenient for them to point out everything that's wrong with you. But one thing that I've noticed is when you're on ground level with everyone else, it's easy for them to have that conversation with you. Your goal is to separate, not out of envy, not out of revenge, but out of fulfilling your purpose. Become the person that you know you need to be in truth. You understand what I'm saying? Now, I can go on forever pretty much about this topic, right? On why your growth is going to make the people around you very uncomfortable. But I'm going to drop one more gem on those that are formulating and going through the necessary changes of becoming a trucker and understanding the path that they've chosen to take to improve their quality of life. One thing you need to understand is that people run in packs because it's safer that way. Whether you realize it or not, when you decide to take on this trucking lifestyle, you are going to have a lot of time to yourself. You are going to be solitary and isolated with your time. And one thing I like to say about trucking is that you're either going to find yourself in it or you're going to lose yourself in it. Point blank, period. Anything that's worth it requires discipline, motivation, a strong sense of spirituality, and an unshakable reality of truth. No one can change your situation but you. You have the power within to grow no matter where you come from, no matter what mistakes you've made. And that is the beauty of finding self. You know, YouTube, at the end and the beginning of the day, all I want to do is continue to give you a perspective of how the world that we live in today requires for you to challenge yourself. It's not about challenging other people and getting them to think the way that you think and do the things that you do. It's really just about you challenging, checking yourself, and being an example for those people that are watching, that are looking, that are trying to find a way to be able to reference and see that, you know what, this person, this individual is not just talking about a particular thing. They are doing the things that are required to show me. And we've lost that in 2025. We don't have enough examples. We have a lot of people that are marginalizing the reality of hard work, being able to plan your future and take charge of the things that really matter in your life. And the older I get, thank God, the more wisdom that I seek to acquire. And I really want to make my experience something that not only I can look back on, but something that someone else can look at and be inspired and motivated by. Because I feel like that is truly what all drives us to the next level. You do understand that though, right? Look, it's your boy, your man, Jeroz, the oft imitated, never duplicated, the one and only Enrique Prince, also known as Prince the Trucker. Make sure you hit that like button, drop a comment, a question you may have, maybe even a topic that you want me to discuss in our next video. Really do appreciate your viewership. I'm gonna catch you guys and gals in the next video. Get ready to go home. You do understand that though, right? Much love and respect. We out of here. Peace.